What two breeds make the Pitbull? In other words, they're asking what are the two breeds that when you breed them together, magically, boom, you got a Pitbull. And the reason why they ask this question is because they come from a culture of ignorance, very naive question for people that live 2020, 2024 going forward. And these people literally, they live in a culture where people mix two muds of any type and create something, and they label it as a brand new breed or as a special mix, and that mixed dog all of a sudden become popular. I'll give you a perfect example, the Labradoodle, the doodles, these Labradoodles or doodles all over the internet. They buying them. They don't care what's the quality, what are the defects, what are the problems. They don't care. They're cute. We need to have one, and so on and so forth. They call that a breed. And for someone to think that the great American Pit Bull Terrier, the warrior dog, the nanny dog that blew up in the 1800s as the nanny dog, that inspired Americans through the concept of two dogs fighting, one at the bottom, one at the top, called them the underdog and the top dog, when dog fighting was not illegal in America. Now, I'm not promoting dog fighting. I want you to relax. I want you to learn. Relax, take a chill pill. I'm just touching history. But in the 1800s and early 1900s, some of those fights, they were legal. Judges, lawyers, and the people of society, even some guys that were actors and stuff like that, and prominent people of society will gather in New York City, right in Manhattan, right by the Times Square. And the reports of those fights were reported in the on the Police Gazette. Repeat, the Police Gazette. And so it's historical. You can look it up. Take a chill pill if you are one of those rainbow guys and pink unicorns and like, oh my God, I'm going to die. Just relax. You know, you can't change history. Happened in the past. You were not even born. Your grandmother probably was even born. And so those great dogs were built by bloodlines. There were dogs mixed in the UK and in Ireland. They came to America as half and a half. Then they went through a process where Americans started to work them together. And they were not a clear order yet, but they were fighting dogs, so they called them pit dogs because they were fighting the pit. But there was a process that they didn't know they were using to select the dogs. And they were using a framework, naturally, of the best dog breeds the best females. Because it was a competition of superiority. Who has a better dog? It was not about everyone is the opposite of what you have in America today, which is equality, inclusion. Everybody is included. Let's hold hands and sing Kumbaya. It was the opposite of a dog show on regular breeds where all the dogs have the same color. No, this was who's better, and that better one is the breed. And that the framework is the framework of the real American Pit Bull Terrier, the dog that gave the name Pitbull. Because on any breed, the only breed that has the name American Pit Bull Terrier is the Pitbull, the American dog. And it has the name right in the middle. The two words in the center, pit and bull, put together is called Pitbull. And so those dogs where they were fighting inspired America through a process called epigenetics. Get a pen and paper, write it down. Epigenetics. And epigenetics happens to wolves. Is the process on how, for example, a wolf being aggressive towards human, but when the human take them as a cub and work with them and start playing with them and give them love, those wolves become docile. But then when they breed them again, the most docile male with the most docile female, all of a sudden the puppies are even more docile, and then more docile until you have a dog. And that's the process of epigenetics. So these dogs were exposed to situations of courage and loyalty, love, never give up, and those dogs became human lovers rather than human aggressors. If you want to know those dogs, Pitbull, that are killing people today, they actually come from pet people pretending to become dog trainers for aggression, for they call it protection dogs. They do that with other breeds, and it works good for other breeds, which is, you know, Ragwalder, Doberman Pinscher, those shepherds from Belgium, all those dogs. but it don't work with the American Pitbull Terrier. Because when you do it with the American Pitbull Terrier, you get a dog that when the puppies are born, the puppies don't know who is the bad guy. And they might bite the innocent new owner that raised it as a pet. But if you don't breed dogs, because you shouldn't breed American Pitbull Terriers, and you let the people that know how to breed them and select them properly, those dogs are never, ever, ever human aggressive. Let me explain to you why. Because human aggression was eradicated from the American Pitbull Terrier in the 1800s and early 1900s. How they did that? Well, they eradicated it because they wouldn't breed any dog that was aggressive towards human, because they will quit fighting. They find out that the quitters were men biters, and the dogs that were aggressive towards people as puppies, when they grew up fighting, they will quit faster. So you see, you didn't know that. You learn it here. You learn it at this point of history. So what are the two breeds? There were some dogs that were mixed. There's really not two breeds, because to make an American Pitbull Terrier, you need more than just too much walking around, or two different breeds. Mix them together and voila, you got a dog. You are forgetting that there were bloodlines, that were men that gave their life, called dogmen. Not the guys that breed dogs in the neighborhoods with the names of kennels. Those guys are not real dogmen. Those are pretenders. The dogman was a title that was earned. And that earned title of dogmen were people that were positively influential to the breed, with great magnifying influence on the breed, because they were such a great breeders that were creating dogs that were better than the ones 20, 30 years ago. And those dogs that were at the forefront of the breed, they become the new stud dogs, the new females. And that is how the breed is a transforming breed, phenomenal, fantastic. They keep evolving, becoming better and better and better. Let me give you a perfect example. A real American Pitbull Terrier from the 1910s, 1920, 1930 might have been a Colby dog. Brindle, white patches. That could have been a real American Pitbull Terrier. Dogs like Colby Dime, or if you look at Patches. But then, if you look at the dogs of the 1960, the Pitbull, it's different dog, completely different. But then if you look at 1990 and you look at Grand Champion Mayday, different dog. And you look at Atos today in 2014, Atos is more related to Mayday. And so why? Because the 1970s established as the foundation for the greatest era of development of the American Pitbull Terrier in the 1990s. But then what happened? How the dogs got lost? Got lost because society changed. The laws changed. The humans changed. They changed from men that were macho men into men that are today, they want to paint their nails, and they want to, wear earrings and all that sort of stuff, and maybe cut their wee-wees. That happens, They're not so secure anymore if they're men or not. And the American Pitbull Terrier was created by men that love women, want to have children, want to populate Earth, and want to have kids and have a family that believe in God, Jesus Christ, family, respect the family, and the United States flag. That's called the American Pitbull Terrier. And we preserve the values of the American Pitbull Terriers in the family. For 34 years, we've been breeding nothing but the very best. I went through a specific process in 1990 to pick up the very best of the best from 1990. And then I took those dogs outside of the United States, and I took them to levels they had never reached before. And they were always pets when we're in my hands. I did something they never done. You look at all those famous dogs from the past, Garbage, Bullison, man biter, Zeebo, man biter, Chinaman, man biter, a whole bunch of dogs. They liked them because they were fighting dogs, and they were man biters. They broke the code of do not breed men biters. I didn't. I kept the real American Pitbull Terrier the way it's supposed to do, they're supposed to be, and I made it better. And today these dogs, you don't get to breed two different dogs and get a dog like Awesome Buck, which is the dog in the picture of this video. You're looking at this beautiful red dog, this machine. There's pictures of him playing with children right after winning a weight pulling contest in Texas. There's a picture, the little red wagon and the kid playing with him. Beautiful dog. Outstanding dog. Perfect dog. Look at Atos. War hero from Ukraine, from Busha, Ukraine. Traveling planes in airports, playing with children. Pilots love him. The stewards love him. He goes to orphanage with kids and children. That is the real American Pitbull Terrier. You're learning a lot with Chico Lopez, the only man in history that ever has done anything like this. Because I really love the dog and I want to make the culture better. I don't want you to be a dog fighter. I don't want you to pretend to be a dog man. I don't want you to pretend to be a breeder. I want you to become the best man you can be and only have the brand dog. God bless you. Once again, D-O-N or D-O-M, Chico Lopez, the man himself. 123pitbulls.com, the greatest. Bye-bye.